Main reason why we're sad that we're leaving this place. All right, guys. So 56. Can't wait. Let's move.
They can deliver.
They can. So 56. A document that transfers possession but does not transfer ownership is warranty deed, deed with restriction, will, or lease. A document that transfers possession but not ownership. Correct answer for 56 is
D.
D as in David, lease. Very good. 57. Triggering terms are phrases in an advertisement that move the buyer to action. First catch the reader's attention, mislead the reader as to geographic location, or require full disclosure of financing details. Triggering terms. Correct answer for 57 is
D.
D as in David. Triggering terms, like pay only $1,500 a month for this house. Do we all qualify the same way?
No.
Do we have the same job?
No.
No. So it requires full disclosure of all the financing details. For instance, to a qualified buyer.
What about?
Approved based on this score, this income, so on. Full disclosure. Okay? 58. The term depreciation refers to the value of real estate after its useful life, loss of value in real estate due to any cause, costs incurred to modernize a building, or capitalized value of rent losses. The correct answer for 58 is
D.
B as in boy. Depreciation refers to loss of value due to any cause. 59. Calculators. How many lots, each measuring 72.5 feet wide by 100 feet deep, could be created from a 2-acre block of land? How many lots? So you need to figure out square footage. Okay? And you need to figure out how much is an acre. How many lots, each measuring 72.5 feet wide by 100 feet deep, could be created from a 2-acre block of land? See? How do you know? Is it 3 lots, 6 lots, 9 lots, or 12 lots? Correct answer for 59 is
D.
D as in David. Did everybody get D?
11.3, I think that's small.
What's 12 lots?
I did, was the month was right over there.
So, how big are these lots? We said 72 wide by 100 deep. What is the area of each lot? Outside numbers multiply to give you the inside number. So
7,250.
square feet.
I got into there then.
Great, I'm explaining. So 7,250 square feet, that's the area. They're asking if you bought 2 acres, correct?
Uh-huh.
Well, how much are 2 acres?
430.
Each acre, so each acre equals 4 squirrels, root 35, 60 miles an hour, right? Square feet. If it's 2 acres, then it's times 2.
So,
How much do we have?
it's 87,000,
97,000.
87,
I'm sorry?
87,
87,000? 87,
120.
120 square feet, right? This is the total area that we purchased. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, if each lot is going to measure 7,250, then we need to have 8,720 divided by
7,250.
the 50, and that equals 12 point something, right?
Top.
You got it? So how many lots can we create? 12 lots of 7,250 in 2 acres. Got it? Yes? Okay. 60. The amount of money that would be paid for property by a buyer to a seller, both being ready, willing, and able to act, and both being fully informed, represents the property's exchange value, market value, appraised value, or equalized value. Correct answer for 60 is
B.
B as in boy. The true market value of a property is when the seller is not forced to sell, the buyer is not forced to buy, and both of them know all the potential assets and defects of the property. And the property's been on the market for a substantial amount of time, right? That was also chapter 16, in case you're wondering. Now, Bill sold a duplex for a profit of $50,000 and took back a mortgage. So I sold it to you, but I took back a mortgage. He owes income tax on the entire gain in the year that the property sold, pays income tax year by year as the payment is received, postpones tax if he purchases a vacation cottage within 2 years, or collects interest in the first year's principal later. Okay? The question is, Bill sold a duplex for a profit of $50,000 and he took back a mortgage. He owes income tax on the entire gain in the year that the property sold, pays income tax year by year as the payment is received, postpones the tax if he purchases a vacation cottage within 2 years, or collects interest in the first year's principal later. Correct answer for 61 is B as in boy. If he took back a mortgage, that means he financed the purchase. If he financed the purchase, he's getting paid in installments. Okay? He sold it to the buyer, and the buyer's paying him instead of paying the bank. He took back a mortgage. What is a mortgage? The house as collateral. It's an installment sales contract or a land contract. Okay? Just like car financing, they only get the title at the end, for instance, or it could be a full sale where the bill gets the deed, but the fact that took back a mortgage, that means there's a loan. The seller is financing the purchase. Okay? So he pays income tax year by year because it was not full profit right away. If it was full profit, he would pay taxes on the $50,000. He's not. He's getting paid in installments over several years. Mr. Johnson, a subdivider and developer, would like to control the types of vehicles that can be parked in front of homes in his classy subdivision. He can accomplish this with deed restrictions, enforcement of zoning, a reverter clause, or eminent domain. Mr. Johnson, a subdivider and developer, wants to stop certain vehicles from being parked in front of the homes in his subdivision. What can he do? Correct answer for 62 is
A.
A. Deed restrictions, subdividers, developers, or sellers can stop what you can do with your property if they put a deed restriction or a restrictive covenant. 63. One way an investor in real estate may defer capital gains is by exchanging for like property, obtaining maximum leverage, selling for cash, or building reserves. One way to defer or delay the payment of taxes on capital gain is by, correct answer for 63 is A is an apple, exchanging. That's chapter 17, when we talk about section 1031 exchange. Right,
Is that chapter 13?
17. In valuation of a hospital, which approach is given the most weight? Cost approach, income capitalization approach, market date approach, or all equal weight? Which one is best for valuation of a hospital? Things to consider. Are there many hospitals for sale?
No.
Do hospitals bring income? No.
Really?
So which one? An income comes from rental. We're not talking about the professional services that are being handled at the hospital. We're talking about the property itself bringing money.
Oh,
Okay?
wait, what? No,
If I own the building for my own services, does it bring me money? The services do,
okay.
not the rental. Right?
Mhm.
So when we're talking about hospitals, we're talking about churches, when we're talking about stuff that there's not many sales and don't generate income as a rental, right? Then we need to use a different type of approach. So the answer for 64 is A, cost approach, the cost of replacing the building. We have replacement cost, we have reproduction cost. 65. The sale of time-sharing units does not require a real estate license, allows buyers the right of rescission for 7 days, or cancellation, right of rescission or cancellation for 7 days, is forbidden to individual owners, or is usually on a flat fee basis. The sale of time-sharing units. The correct answer for 65 is B as in boy. Time-sharing units, traditionally out of state, or planned unit developments. You have 7 days to cancel the contracts. 67.
What chapter was that?
I'm sorry.
65.
You'll have it under chapter 18, talks about it. And no, that's it. It talks about planned unit developments and timeshares being 7 calendar days. Towards the end.
What chapter was that again? Sorry.
18, subdivision and developments. 66, covenants, conditions, and restrictions, CC&Rs, are placed on a condominium or co-op development by the homeowners association, attorney general's office, developer, or present tenants. Correct answer for 66 is C as in Charlie. The developer, the subdivider or developer creates the restrictions to preserve their original dream, pretty much. Okay? 67. The primary objective of a property manager should be to provide the owner with low vacancy rates, highest return on the property value, complete monthly reports of income and expense, or allocated costs. The primary objective of a property manager is to provide what? Correct answer for 67 is
B.
B as in boy, the highest return on the property value. That's the end of chapter 12. '68. If a radon test on a home reveals a reading of 14 PCIs per liter, a prospective purchaser should probably not worry about it, report it to the local health department, ask to see a survey, or request remediation. If a radon test measures 14 PCIs per liter, a prospective purchaser should probably do what? Correct answer for 68 is D as in David. Anything, like the other end is saying, anything above 4 PCIs is dangerous. Okay? We find this in chapter 9.
What?
Chapter 9, radon. If it measures 4 PCIs or more, it's dangerous. 69. Calculators. A house sells for $102,000 and is appraised at $100,000 by a lender who is willing to make a 75% loan-to-value ratio. Right? How much down payment does this house require? House sell for 102. It's appraised at 100,000. The lender is giving a loan of 75%. How much down payment does this house require? This one should be easy. You shouldn't really need calculators for this one. Correct answer is 25,000. 25,500, 27,000, or 75,000? The answer is
So
C.
C as in Charlie.
I got it wrong.
Because of $2,000.
It says the house sold for 102,000.
Yeah.
The lender gave a loan on the appraisal value. That means the buyer had to come up with $25,000 down payment plus the difference between the sales price and the appraised value. It's telling you that it sold for 102. Got it? So, this, under chapter 14, we talk about FHA loans. And it says, in an FHA loan, the lender gives money or a loan according to the appraised value. If the property appraises for less than the purchase price, the buyer has the right either to walk away or come up with a difference. In this case, lender says it's worth $100,000. I'll give you 75% of that. If you still want it, you're responsible for the difference. You got it?
Yeah.
Yes? Great. 70. Under the provisions of the ordinary store lease, trade fixtures that remained in the store after the expiration of the lease become property of the lessee, new tenant, lessor, or chattel mortgagee. Correct answer for 70 is
C.
C as in Charlie, lessor. The landlord gets to keep everything if the lease expired, we didn't renew, and you didn't take anything out. Okay? 71. A listing that obligates the broker to distribute the listing to other brokers is an open listing, option, multiple listing, or friendly listing. I think D is the answer. A listing that obligates, that forces the broker to distribute to everybody else is called 71 is
C.
C is in Charlie, a multiple listing where we allow other brokers to access our listing. Okay? 72. A void contract is one that is not in writing, rescindable by agreement, missing an essential element, or executory. Correct answer for 72 is C as in Charlie, missing one essential element. What are the 4 essential elements of a valid contract?
Two parties.
Competent parties. Very good.
Offer and acceptance.
Offer and acceptance.
Signatures?
Ooh,
No
no.
signatures. No?
Competent parties, offer and acceptance. Sandra, chime in. You should know, we talk about Coke, right?
Legal?
Legal purpose, Sonia would know. Francine didn't want to pronounce herself this time with the drugs. Right? And there's one missing.
Accept possession. No, hold on.
What is acceptance? No, that's the money.
Money, what is money?
Oh, consideration.
Consideration. Competent parties. Offer and acceptance, which is meeting of the minds. Consideration, exchange of value. Legal purpose, the right type of Coke. Okay? That's Pepsi Cola.
What is it?
Anyway. 73. If there's an incident of discrimination, the complainant has to prove that the act was unintentional, the offense was repeated, discrimination occurred, or the act caused the loss. Correct answer for 73 is C as in Charlie. I don't have to prove anything other than that discrimination occurred. You're going to have to prove if it was intentional or not. Nope. Intentional or unintentional, it happened. You're going to have to defend yourself and prove that it wasn't on purpose. Simple.
If there's an incident of discrimination, the complainant has to prove that.
Chapter 4.
Okay.
An option contract is a contract, an option is a contract that requires the buyer to complete the purchase, keeps an offer open for a specified time, gives the buyer an easement on the property, or allows the buyer to occupy the property. Correct answer for 74 is B as in boy. It's an option. So it leaves it open while we rent. So it's the rent to own. And then we have an option that later on we buy the property based on the offer we just made. Okay? 75. In the cost approach, the appraiser makes use of the owner's cost of the original building, estimate of the replacement cost of the building, sales price of similar buildings, or depreciated value used for income tax purposes. Cost approach. The correct answer for 75 is B as in boy, the replacement cost of the building. I think I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Like 3 times? 76. A lease that requires the lessee to pay taxes, operating expenses, and insurance. So the tenant is the one responsible for these. Is called a gross lease, net lease, percentage lease, or recorded lease. Correct answer for 76 is B as in boy, net lease. A gross lease, you pay a flat fee, the landlord deals with the expenses. A net lease, you pay a flat fee and some or all of the operating expenses. Okay? 77. The tenant with a month-to-month tenancy must give the landlord how much notice of intention to vacate? 1 week, 2 months, 1 month, or no notice? Correct answer for 77 is C, 1 month notice. 78. When recorded in the county where real property of the defendant is located, a judgment becomes a voluntary lien, an attachment lien, involuntary lien, or equitable lien. There's nothing to think about here. It's a judgment. Who asks for it? Correct answer for 78 is
C.
C as in Charlie. I see you guys reading into it. It's a judgment. Go straight for the answer. Here is straight for the kill. Involuntary lien. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
An involuntary lien.
I'm sorry?
What is it, Jeff?
If you don't know this.
I know what it is.
Okay.
I'm just giving a hint.
You're giving a hint? Oh, that's what you're doing?
Yes.
What is a judgment? What's your
Decree.
hint? Huh?
Decree.
It's a decree, yes.
Yes.
An order by a judge. Again, not voluntary. 79. Zoning ordinances are usually established by federal government, local authorities, state of New Jersey, or court order. Who establishes zoning? Correct answer for 79 is B as in boy, local authorities. Each municipality has their own zoning rules. 80. John Borick sold Andrew Maloney an acre of land but reserved the right to cross Maloney's acre to reach the public road. Maloney's new property is called the dominant tenement, servient tenement, homestead, or leasehold. Do not answer any questions until I'm done reading. I promise you guys that sometimes, or most of the times, you're answering the wrong one because you're going by instinct versus knowledge or logic. Okay? Wait until I'm done. So, John Borick, seller, sold to Maloney, the buyer, but reserved the right to cross Maloney's property. Maloney's new property, so the buyer, is called the
B.
correct answer for 80 is B as in boy, servient, because who's benefiting from it?
John.
John Borick is benefiting from it, so he's the dominant. Maloney is the servient, the host. Come on in. Maloney Baloney, there you go. 81. If a broker's license is suspended, chapter 6, under easements. If a broker's license is suspended, the licenses of his or her salesperson are also suspended automatically, not affected, suspended for any salesperson who is aware of the offense at the time, or allowed to continue for a 6-month temporary period. Correct answer for 81 is
A.
A as an apple. If you don't have a sponsoring broker, you can't do anything. You're automatically suspended.
But you can transfer right away?
You can, but what's the immediate consequence? You get suspended. Can you transfer somewhere else? Yes, but what's the immediate consequence? You have to stop everything you're doing. You cannot perform any acts because you don't have,
You don't pick up the phone, you don't do nothing.
well,
So do we have to pay a fee to transfer to another broker
if
under this situation?
If the broker's license is suspended and it's not your fault, you don't pay anything. If you're the reason for his or her suspension, yes.
What ends up happening to all the deals that are running, like listings or closings about to happen?
Real estate commission will handle it. Good luck trying to transfer it to another agency. 82. A broker salesperson must maintain a separate escrow account, meet all broker qualifications, use only the designation salesperson on business cards, or obtain a branch office license. Broker salesperson must. Correct answer for 82 is B as in boy. Meet all broker qualifications. Otherwise, he doesn't become
Yeah.
broker salesperson. 83. In New Jersey, an oral listing agreement is never legally enforceable, is enforceable if it is for less than 1 year, must be confirmed in writing within 5 days, or is the most commonly used form of listing. The correct answer for 83 is C as in Charlie. We can have oral listing agreements, but we must confirm it within 5 calendar days. Calendar days.
Oh, okay. 5 calendar.
84. In New Jersey, a licensed broker must have $500,000 bond,
50,000.
$50,000 bond. Just add a zero.
Yes.
No.
Zero.
Just numbers.
Yeah.
That's a very big
It's
difference.
numbers.
What if I told you I was good at math?
It's big difference.
All right. Separate escrow bank account, a college degree, or all of the above. Correct answer for 84 is separate escrow or trust account. Yep. That's why I didn't care about the zero, okay? It was not the right answer anyway.
I like the number though, 500,000. I like that number.
Keep on adding. 5 million, why not? All right.
The number don't mean anything if there's no dollar sign.
There is no.
But there is a
No,
lot
she
of
says she
sign.
like the number, so
Oh.
I don't like the number. I like the money.
I like the sign, right?
That's it. I like the money too, in the account, not out of the account. So it doesn't matter the money.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the number. What matters is where it is.
Not necessary. I could have it at home.
I know where you live. Salesperson or broker may have to start all over again with classes and examination if a license is now renewed for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years. Correct answer for 85 is
Yeah.
B as in boy, 2 years.
Salesperson.
Doesn't matter what it is. Any licensee that does not renew their license for 2 or more consecutive years gets suspended and revoked.
And it's every June.
So they have to,
July.
you have up to June 30th to renew. July 1st, you have no license.
So we're lucky. If we get the license now, we still have 2 years to renovate.
And 86.
So, no?
New Jersey laws,
No.
is it 2 years?
1.5.
Or a year and a half?
A year and a half. Well,
I'm not the only one that's not good with math. Now, New Jersey laws allow a landlord to refuse, I'm good. Allow a landlord to refuse to rent to anyone on welfare, people with children, people with dogs, or any of the above. New Jersey law allows a landlord to refuse to rent to. Correct answer for 86 is
see.
C as in Charlie. I'm entitled to say no pets, but
We don't know that.
I cannot say no children or no Section
Wait,
8
it's a
or anything like
service
that.
dog.
If it's a guide or service dog, you have to. All right, next. After food, everything goes faster, right?
Keep going.
87. It's on the recording now. It's not going fast enough. 87. Which type of listing, children, which type of listing is illegal in New Jersey? Sonia should answer this one. Open listing, net listing, exclusive right to sell listing, or exclusive agency listing?
Net listing.
Net listing, correct. She's a little excited for you. 88. Every listing must include the broker's home phone number, the square foot measurement of the property. Notice that commissions are 6%, or broker's promise to advertise the property. Correct answer for 88 is
C.
C as in Charlie. Did you say A? Every listing must include my home phone number? All right. 89. Correct answer is? In New Jersey, a landlord may not refuse a tenant solely because of political affiliation, children and family, prison record, or pets. Correct answer for 89 is B as in boy. We cannot refuse to rent to people with children. We can refuse based on your political affiliation, prison record, pets, sure. Those are not discrimination, but children and family is a protected status. 90. In New Jersey, continuous, open, notorious, hostile, and exclusive occupation of another's real property may lead to acquisition through adverse possession after a period of 3 years, 6 years, 10 years, or 20 years. Correct answer for 90 is
B.
20 years. D as in David.
It's gonna be me. The old lady.
After the 75-hour course is successfully completed, license application must be made within 30 days, 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years. Correct answer for 91 is C as in Charlie. Once you complete the pre-licensing course, which is this one right here, the 75 hours, I'm going to give you a certificate. You have 1 year from that certificate. It's not 1 year from passing the state exam. It's 1 year from completing the course here.
Completing and passing your step for the test, right?
Mine, yep. You only complete once you pass. Once you get that certificate that says, yay, you passed. On Thursday, right?
Yeah.
You already feeling sick? All right, 92. The salesperson's license examination can be taken only by anyone who walks in, anyone enrolled in the pre-licensing course, anyone who has successfully completed the course, or someone who has a sponsoring broker. Correct answer for 92 is
C.
C as in Charlie. Correct. 93. Unless the experience requirement is waived, the applicant for a broker's license must have served a full-time apprenticeship as a licensed salesperson for at least 6 months, 1 year, 18 months, or 3 years. Correct answer for 93 is D as in David. At least 3 years full-time experience. 94. Records of all contracts of sale and listing agreements must be kept by a broker for at least 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Correct answer for 94 is C for 6 years. Any permanent records must be kept for 6 years. What about unaccepted offers?
6 months.
6 months. Real estate commission is composed of how many members? 3, 5, 10, 20. How many members? 8 members. C as in Charlie. 96. Educational requirements for a broker's license can be waived for certain brokers licensed in other states, spouses of recently deceased brokers, salespersons with 10 years of full-time experience, or college graduates who hold a doctorate. Correct answer for 96 is
A.
brokers licensed in another state. 97. A New Jersey real estate salesperson must be a citizen of the United States, at least 21 years old, a college graduate, or sponsored by supervising broker. Correct answer for 97 is D as in David, sponsored by supervising broker. I'm telling you, with food, everything is better. So make sure before you take the exam, you eat.
Not just eat this type of food.
The guarantee fund is used to, this is brain food. So you come to the place next door, you take it with you, and then you eat right before the exam. The guarantee fund is used to pay a broker commission unlawfully withheld by the seller, protect a salesperson if a broker refuses to split a commission as previously agreed, reimburse the public for losses arising from licensee's wrongdoing, or compensate buyers who have suffered from unlawful discrimination. Correct answer for 98 is C is in Charlie. So guarantee funds protect the public, period. You don't have to read into any other questions, any other answers. It's about protecting the public. 99. A broker could lose his or her license for sharing commission with another broker's salesperson, a broker in another state, a former salesperson who listed a house while in the broker's employ, or another New Jersey broker. Correct answer for 99 is
C.
See what the pharmaceutical is interesting.
A as in apple.
B.
What?
Oh,
Listen to me.
Salesperson, yes.
Another broker's salesperson. Can we give money to somebody else that's not a broker? No. Simple, right? As far as C, as some of you answered, it says the key here is while in the broker's employ. Okay? If you were working for me at the time that the house was listed, you were entitled to commission. If our agreement says so, our prenup.
It's a former salesperson.
Uh-huh. So when I hire you, I have to tell you how much I'm going to pay you. I have to tell you within what time am I going to pay you. And then the prenup agreement, that is, hey, if you ever leave, whatever's left behind, instead of paying you 70%, I'll pay you 25%. That's what it says on C. Anything pending from the time that you were working for me, I'm still entitled to pay you. Okay? So as long as you worked for me, I'll pay you for whatever was at the time. Got it? Correct answer here was A. We could not pay another broker's salesperson. 100. With certain restrictions, a commission may be shared with an unlicensed person in the form of rebates to the seller, buyer, broker's assistant, or office secretary. Correct answer for 100 is B as in boy. Bless you. B as in boy. Why? Because rebates, as I told you to write, rebates are only payable to a buyer. Okay? That was chapter 1. And a little bit on chapter 2. 101. It was so long ago. I know, right? A month ago. When a new building is considered safe for human habitation, a building inspector can issue a certificate of occupancy, restrictive covenants, special use permits, or building permits. The correct answer for 101 is
A.
CO, certificate of occupancy. It's okay to occupy, ACO. All right. The largest fine that may be charged as a penalty for violation of the New Jersey license law is $500, $5,000, see, 1 0. $5,000, $10,000, or $50,000. Correct answer for 102 is
C.
D as in David.
Oh.
No less than 250, no more than $50,000. Chapter 2.
A little bit of chapter 3.
I'm sorry? Yeah, a little sprinkle of chapter 3 in it. Yeah, that's, I know. The Jersey Real Estate Commission is part of Department of Banking and Insurance, Attorney General's Office, Education Department, or Secretary of State's Office. Correct answer for 103 is
A.
A is an apple. Chapter 1, page 1. Okay? You're welcome.
Chapter 1, page 1.
It's actually the first page of chapter 1. It's not page 1. So sorry. First page of chapter 1.
So first,
Yes. 104. Which of the following needs a real estate license when involved in handling a real estate transaction? An executor, a bank, a developer selling homes in their subdivision, or an auctioneer? 104. Who needs a license when handling a real estate transaction? Correct answer for 104 is
D.
D as in David. All the other ones are exempt.
yeah, I was thinking C, but
So, chapter 1, second page.
thank you.
Page 12.
That's what it is. 105. We're going to leave early today. The deed is known in New Jersey as bargain and seal deed with covenants against Grantors Act, is also known as quitclaim deed, fiduciary deed, warranty deed, or special warranty deed. Correct answer for 105, based on chapter 19. Correct answer is
C.
D as in David, special warranty deed.
There's no
down.
fiduciary deed.
There's no fiduciary deed.
19.
There's quitclaim deeds, warranty deeds. There's special warranty deeds, which are also bargain and seal deeds with covenants against Grantors Acts. It's a special warranty because it's not a full warranty. A full warranty would be the general warranty deed, or C. The special warranty deed is where I'm guaranteeing you, the buyer, that while I had the property, I'm warranting only specially the period of time I had the property. Nothing happened. Before me, I have no idea. After me, it's on you. And that's the normal deed used in New Jersey.
What is a bargain sale deed?
I'm sorry?
What is the bargain?
Bargain and seal deed, we bargained, we agreed, we sold. The difference here is that it says with covenants. That's where it says warranty, covenants. Something that's binding against me, because it's a grantor, the seller. Okay? Covenants, promises, guarantees, warranties that the grantor, the seller, must provide. If it was a straight bargain and seal deed, right, he wouldn't be here because there's no covenants. Okay? That's more for foreclosures and tax sales. Again, chapter 19. 106. Ron Smith dies suddenly, leaving a wife and 2 minor children, but no will. New Jersey law of descent provides that his wife is entitled to. So Ron Smith dies without a will. The wife is entitled to his entire estate, half of his estate, $50,000 plus half of the remaining estate, or the entire remaining estate after the children reach 21. Correct answer for 106 is
A.
C.
C as in Charlie.
Yes.
It doesn't talk about primary residence.
But he doesn't even work.
It talks about, exactly. So without a will, it's law of descent and distribution. This is chapter 20.
Ah,
It's where we talk about Jersey deciding how your assets will be distributed. The spouse receives the first 50,000 plus half of the remaining estate. The other half goes to the children.
But if they're under 18,
They're minor. They're under 18. But the other half belongs to them. It's just it's going to be managed by a guardian, which in this case is the mother, but it's theirs. You got it?
Yep.
Law of descent and distribution. Chapter 20.
okay, go to C, right?
Yeah, see. 107. New Jersey's Consumer Information Statement lists
the page 34, 35.
both obvious and latent defects in the property,
The readme page?
Yes.
yes, Anna,
So,
protected classes under the state's fair housing laws, the licensee's agency relationship to each party, or the current mortgage plans available from local lenders. What do we find in the CIS? Correct answer for 107 is
C.
C is in Charlie, the type of business relationships or agency relationships. Seller's agent, buyer's agent, disclosure agent, or transaction broker. Page 34 and page 35, the please read me pages that you guys didn't read, right?
And they're full.
Partially read.
Partially read.
I haven't just
108.
Megan's law.
Megan's Law requires that a community be alerted to the presence of convicted sex offenders. Buyers be given 3 days after signing in which to void the purchase contract. In the absence of a will, surviving children are entitled to half an estate, or tenants age 62 or older may not be evicted. Correct answer for 108 is
A.
sex offenders, right away. Megan's Law, sex offenders, easy. 109. Mount Laurel lawsuits were concerned with blockbusting, redlining, stigmatized property, or exclusionary zoning. Correct answer for 109 is
D.
D, exclusionary zoning, the poor being excluded from residential areas. Chapter 4. Okay? And the last one. We still have 5 minutes, so I'll take some time on this one. A, residential lease. He's even growing hair. A residential lease for 1 year or more is subject to review.
Don't. So the answer is options.
You're getting there. So a residential lease for 1 year or more is subject to review and possible cancellation by the tenant's attorney, but not by the landlord's attorney, anytime during the first month of tenancy, within 3 business days of signing, or only if the attorney's notice is given by certified mail. Correct answer for 110 is
C.
3 business days. Correct. Very good.
Good job.
You passed? All right. So here's the deal. You guys are going to count the amount of answers you had wrong. Okay?
You can get credit.
It's 110 minus those answers divided by 110. And you figure out your percentage. Don't worry. You don't have to tell me.